of it. I'm not going to spend the entire time going through that. However, what I am going to do is just go over our disclaimer summary. So this call may contain forward-looking statements. No earning claims or financial advice is given. The digital rewards are for utility. Do your own research. So,
oh shoot! Did I just turn that off? Did
oh,
I? Did
hang
I?
on.
Sorry.
Maybe that's
I
all right,
actually,
mate.
I
That's
thought
okay.
I thought I was sharing because it said stop sharing. Sorry, that was. I think
Uh,
I turned that off. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll keep going, Scott. It's all good. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start again with the disclaimer summary just so that we make sure that we cover off on this, because the thing is, guys, that we own this. This is our community, and it really is up to us to make sure that we are sharing compliantly and we're not making any false claims. So this call, as I was saying, this may contain forward-looking statements. No earning claims or financial advice is given or will be given. The digital rewards are for utility, and do your own research, DYOR. It's really important in this space, and in fact, in any space, that you do your own research. Don't take somebody's word for it. Don't take mine. Don't take Scott's. Like, do your own research in this. The information provided is for educational purposes, and nodes and blockchain are governed by the DGF, or the Distributed Governance Framework. So that is super important, guys, that you always, if you're sharing Connect or any of the projects, that you're also doing that. And what I do want to do is I also want to welcome everybody. Good morning and welcome, or good evening as an afternoon as it is for Scott. Thank you so much for joining us on your Friday evening, buddy. I'm so thrilled to introduce Scott Lomu. He has become a great friend of mine, and many of you may or may not recognize him because he is actually a bit of a legend in the movie space, in that he was all, high stakes in the journey of gold mining in Africa, and I'll let him speak into that a little bit more. And the experience really gave him a unique perspective on the value of the Earth's resources. And today he's leading a different kind of revolution, which I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite projects. And Scott is the co-founder of Element United. Scott is the forefront of mining for the good movement, using blockchain technology to protect our planet by keeping precious metals in the ground and other ways around that. He is a true visionary in the decentralized space, focus on legacy, stewardship, and environmental restoration. Scott, so grateful to have you here with your heart and your fire for this call today, my friend. And I am going to hand over to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Lisa. I love doing these calls. I love talking about the vision, the mission, and the purpose of Element. But Element only succeeds and only exists because of those who are involved, like all of you. This is truly a community-run program, and we're here at the forefront. In time, we believe that everybody will know who Element is and will be wanting to participate, because they'll also buy into what it is we're trying to accomplish. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of I think we have over 3,000 individual node owners. We have quite a big community spread out over about 42 or 43 different countries. And we are on a mission to change people's understanding, perspective, awareness of what's actually happening in the mining world. And I come into this knowing that sometimes when you say we're trying to fix problems in the mining world, people immediately turn off, because it's something that a lot of us don't really see or feel or touch every day. You think about mining and certain visions come into your head. Now, maybe in Australia it's different because it's such a large mining country. I think everybody knows somebody in the mining business. But for most people, we think, how does this affect me individually? And some people go, it's not really my thing. But our mission is to let everybody understand what the problems are and how we're all part of the problem. Everything that we have, everything that we use on a day-to-day basis, this technology with these computers, all of our phones, everything that's happening, everything we use to have the lives that we live every single day, are a direct result of mining. Everything in the car we drives. And so I just try to bring it home and to make it personal and to let everybody know without mining, we're all living in the Stone Age. We have zero technology, we have nothing. And so we have to make it personal, make the problems that exist in the mining world personal. And so I'm going to go ahead and just jump over and share my screen here. Okay. Are you able to see my screen there?
Not yet, buddy.
Can you see my screen, Lisa?
Not yet. Not yet. I can't.
Oops.
No, Scott.
See, I can't hear anything anymore. Let me make sure.
No, it's not sharing, Scott. Can you hear us now?
Okay, I can hear you. When I went to share the screen, I couldn't hear you guys. But let me try that again. Okay, I'm going to try to share again. Let's see. Share screen. Entire screen. Let's try that. We're still trying to get the bugs out of R-Link, huh? Let's see. So I'm trying to click entire screen and it's not really working. It's okay. I'll keep messing with it. Once it allows me to share, then I'll put it back up there. But for right now, it's not liking that. Oh, there we go. Share, allow to share screen. Let's try that. Okay.
There we go.
You can see my element screen, okay?
Yep, you can see it now, buddy. Yep.
Great. Okay. Well, we appreciate it. So thank you for being patient there. And so our mission is to do our best to let everybody know that this is a very personal thing for each one of us. That the things that are mined, we touch, feel, interact with from the time we wake up until the time we go to bed. And so if we can make the association with mining personal, then we can start to reach people. And what really helps me is when we can talk about the problems that exist in the mining world. And so, let me, in fact, I'm going to back up a little bit here. In fact, I'm going to go back here into my presentation and just, this wasn't originally going to be a part of what I was going to talk about, but I think it does a good job of, and for those of you who've been involved with ELMT, you guys already know, what the problems are that exist. And I'll just keep it small here so everybody can see that. And so that the problems that exist in the mining world are tragic and they're destructive. And, this is a mine in Ghana. These are little children working in the mines to get gold. This is the cobalt coming from the Congo. This is so that we can have rechargeable batteries and electric vehicles. And this, this is the environment. This is what's being done. And there's a price being paid by so many people at the bottom of the supply chain. And for those of you who've been involved, you've seen this presentation before, but it's shocking. I've done this presentation hundreds of times, literally, and it's still very shocking to show these images just so that we can have this technology. If you have a phone, this is what it takes for you to have a phone. It takes 6 continents, 8 to 16 rare earth minerals, 4 to 5 conflict minerals, 60 to 7 different elemental components, 43 countries all contributing so that we can have these phones. And the same thing goes with jewelry. If you have jewelry, which we all have some sort of jewelry, this is what it takes for you to have the jewelry that you have. And the point that we're trying to make is that someone's paying the price for that. There is a bottom of the supply chain. And because of the way this business works, a lot of it's done under the cover of darkness, with corruption, with the collaboration of a bunch of nefarious actors. Now, it's not all mining, but it's a big chunk. We estimate 30 to 35% of all mining is done illegally or with children or with slave labor, and definitely with massive environmental destruction. And so we looked at the blockchain as a way to solve that problem. The blockchain allows us to put a big flashlight on certain industries. And that's because the blockchain verifies information. The blockchain certifies, in our case, we need to certify where all these minerals are coming from. And so when I spent my time out in Africa now, all these problems I saw firsthand. I showed this image a second ago. This image right here, there's along the road down the kind of the middle of the picture, There's the three little plotch things right here. This little one right here, that was my village. Some of these holes are mine. All this is gold mining. Okay. It all looked like this a few years ago. Now look at this. This is all the destruction. And this is one tiny little snapshot of a little corner in Central Africa, but the destruction is everywhere. And I got to know that firsthand because I was out there mining, and Discovery Channel heard about us and said, hey, we're going to go follow these two idiots that don't know anything about gold mining. And they followed us and ended up making a TV show about us. And I was on TV for a couple of seasons on Discovery Channel. And so the reason I show this is not to brag, but it's to say, every problem that I'm talking about, from the corruption to the danger to the environmental destruction to the kids, can be seen on this show. And so, like the blockchain, I can verify, I can back it up, I can prove what the problems are because I have 2 seasons of a TV show that you can go find on Hulu or YouTube, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm the most proud of from this TV show, is that at least we've created a platform for the world to see what the problems are. So now we use blockchain. We use blockchain to solve these problems and to create a way to personalize it. We want everybody to go from this industry where it's some far off place that happens to other people in other countries, and we need to personalize it. Not only personalize it, step one, which is you need to understand the problems that exist and how you're contributing to that problem indirectly. We're all contributing to the problem indirectly. But number 2, and this is just as important, is how can you be a part of the solution? And that's the beauty of blockchain. The beauty of blockchain is it allows everybody to be able to be a voluntary participant and to be rewarded for participating in the solution. Once you understand that blockchain is the solution, because it takes all these problems and brings them into the daylight, where you now have to verify where the gold came from, you have to be able to prove that there was a reclamation plan. And so all of these things are addressed with Element United. Element United has created projects on the blockchain. And so let me, actually, I'm jumping the gun on that slide there. Let me go back to here. So we have built products that live on the blockchain. And for those of you not familiar with the blockchain is a whole bunch of computers spread out all over the world that verifies information and data. And so in order to fake information that's on a blockchain, you would have to hack into half of the computers plus one at the exact same time, change the data, and falsify that data. Now, the data that's on the blockchain for Element are things like which mines are certified, right? Where's the origin of this gold? Where do these diamonds come from? How much did they pay? All this data goes into the blockchain so that a buyer of gold can buy from somebody that's doing it right. It's something very similar happened in the diamond world. There was a big problem with blood diamonds, and then a whole bunch of people got together and said, what are we going to do? And so they came up with something called the Kimberley process, to where people can only buy from certified mines, and it put all the bad guys out of business because they didn't have the Kimberley certificate. But the big problem with that is that it's a paper process that can be faked. The blockchain cannot be faked. So all the information that we're putting on, and it's not just diamonds, it's gold, silver, tantalum, lithium, copper, you name it. Any sort of mining company, any sort of mining business in the world can be certified through Element United through our first product there called Straya. And our Straya product is a mining certification. You have to certify the source. So that's what we're building on the blockchain. We're also building, the next one is our heirloom, to where individual pieces of jewelry, individual products can have their own NFT that proves where it came from, that proves that it was certified, that proves it's not a blood diamond. It also certifies and attaches the product to you directly. So it's kind of a digital ownership. And it also tells the story of that piece of jewelry. You can create your own audio or video and pass it on, pass that heirloom, which is why we called it the heirloom NFT, onto your posterity. We also have something called Earth Mobile. We're going to talk about that. It's similar to PowerPay, but it works, and we're still building it. And then we tokenize carbon credits. And so all of this stuff lives on the blockchain. And so you, being a supporter of the blockchain, you buy a node, turn your computer into a part of the blockchain, and every single day you're going to be rewarded with the ELMT token for being a part of the blockchain. So we've tried to create a win-win. Number one, you need to recognize there's a problem. Number two, you need to understand you can be part of the solution. Number three, you can be rewarded with an ELMT token for being a part of the solution. And then we'll talk about what you can do with that token in just a second here. And so we built, I know I went through that fast. And for those of you who've been involved with this, who already understand it, thank you for your patience and letting me explain that again to those who might be new. But essentially, here's all you need to know. If I want to be a part of the Element blockchain, run a node or buy the token. But if you're running a node, great, because that node on your computer supports the following products and many, many more. Okay. And then you're just going to get ELMT deposited into your digital wallet every single day for being a part of the solution. And so we, the company, we focus on the products, and we want these products all purchased with the ELMT token so that there's a use for the token. Now, we understand that most people that have the token are going to just wait until it has a value, but we don't make any claims on if and when that'll happen or how much the token will be worth. But it stands to reason, if there's enough utility, if you can do a whole bunch of stuff with the token, there's enough people excited about it, then it stands to reason that the token could go up, even though we don't make any claims that it will. So that's basically, we want people to understand what the problems are, let them know you can be rewarded for being a part of the solution. And then finally, great, what do I do with this token? And so that's what we're talking about today. Now, the big thing that we're working on is being able to use your ELMT tokens to pay your cell phone bill. And I understand there's a lot of heartache right now over another company called Green that had something called PowerPay, and PowerPay was abruptly changed. We're going to make sure Element is never in that position, so that when we go out and we roll this program out and allow people to pay your cell phone bill with the ELMT token, that product stays forever, because everybody on this planet has a cell phone and needs to pay a cell phone bill. Think about the utility of the ELMT token, because every person on earth essentially is our customer. So we're going to build this product right. We're learning some of the lessons from Green, and obviously we want Green to fix it and make it right. But Element, luckily, we're kind of in the background watching what worked, what didn't, and we're going to build a product that the entire world can use to pay their cell phone bill using the token. So if I'm holding the token and a whole bunch of people want that token so they can go pay their cell phone bill, in theory, that could put upward pressure on the token. And again, back to the disclaimer, we're not claiming that it will, but that would be fantastic if it did. So we are focused on utility for the masses. And the masses right now like a couple things. They like crypto, and what's happening in the world right now, people really like gold and silver. And so we're thinking, okay, as a company, what can we do? What can we build that will have mass adoption of the ELMT token? And again, we're always careful not to say what's going to make it go to the moon. We don't ever use stuff like that. But what is something we can do in addition to using the Element to pay your cell phone bill? And by the way, that's called Earth Mobile. That's the one right there, the third one in. What else can we do to get the masses to come in? One of the biggest things happening in the world right now is people love gold and silver. People are buying gold and silver like crazy. And you saw what happened to the gold and silver prices this past year and earlier this year. Went nuts, went through the roof. So we said, okay, let's take advantage of this. So we have built a new company, an arm of Element United called Guild. Guild is a way for people to get gold and silver, and also to get introduced into the crypto world if they are not already introduced to it. And so we built a program, and we're going to start very simple. We're going to make this so easy and so simple. And so the tier one looks like this. It's $100 a month, and it's on a subscription model, and you're going to get $50 worth of gold or silver from our partner. That's OzMint. OzMint, some of you guys have met before. I think we've had OzMint on our call. This is OzMint. This is Abe Day, who just lives 3 miles from me down the street, and he runs a wonderful organization called OzMint. So we have partnered with OzMint to work with us on creating Guild. And so $100 goes toward, 50 of it will go toward gold or silver, okay? And then the other 50 goes toward an Element product, like an heirloom NFT or light nodes, or a kind of a hybrid of an NFT that we call a match NFT, where you get element tokens. And so you're going to get, for $100, you're going to get $50 worth of gold or silver, $50 worth of some sort of element digital product, and $50 worth of ELMT. And of course, that'll depend on how much you get based on the price. And we have to figure that out still on what price we're going to use. But this is an incredible way to bring together the gold crowd and the crypto crowd. And so, and get a lot of value out of it. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that you can earn $20 a month for every person you refer into this program. And if they refer someone in, you'll make another $10. So $30 out of every 100 is designed to reward you for spreading the word about this program. It's not an MLM. We're just building out a simple two-tiered referral program. So if I get 100 people into this program every single month, and they each get one person in, I'm going to make $30 times 100 every single month. So $3,000 just for telling people about this program. And they're going to be getting gold or silver or a combination of the both, which obviously is going up. They're going to get element at that price of that day that they buy, and they're going to get a great element product. And so we are building this so that, number one, we can solve the problem that people have of, where do I go to get gold? I don't have enough gold. I can't afford gold. So we just do a small monthly every single month. Now, there are obviously other tiers where you can buy more gold and silver, not just a tier one. I didn't put those slides in here just because for the ease of this program, but we believe we can get the masses to come into this. And whether they're coming in for the gold or whether they're coming in for the crypto, they're getting both. And when I have conversations with people about what crypto is, or I have conversations with people about gold and silver, I kind of use the same language, kind of a hedge against fiat currency, something as a backup, a way to diversify a portfolio. And I use the same language with the precious metals crowd as with the crypto crowd. So we're combining the two, and it hasn't been done. There's nothing out there like this. We've searched through AI and tried to find a competitor, and there's nothing out there like it. And we believe that we can really, really make a huge impact on the market. And so what we've done is we've partnered up with a couple companies. There was a company called 7K that was just a precious metals MLM. They went out of business. So we're working hard to pull those people over. We're also working with a company called Aspire, which is a really big seminar group that's going to be pitching this from stage. And then we also have Mark Williams. Some of you guys remember Mark. He was with us a few years ago. Mark went out and created his own AI marketing company. So we've rehired him. So he's back on the team to really take this to the masses. We want this to go out to the masses, but also this works within Connect as well. And so for those of you obviously with Connect, this will plug and play right into Connect as well. And it'll work under the same Connect payouts. So this isn't something that's outside of Connect that doesn't apply to you. This absolutely works and plug and play. We've been working with Trace on how to make this work seamlessly for all the Connect people as well, so that you can make a little bit of money. I always look at it and I say, look, if you can get 5 people in, there's my different tiers. If you can get 5 people in, that pays for your monthly subscription of your own, right? Because if you're making $20 for every 5 people, and that's if your 5 people didn't bring anybody else in, just 5 people paying their subscription pays for your 100 every single month. And so as we build, we're looking for utility. Element's unique. We kind of have a big B2B play, like the carbon credits and like the mining certification. That's kind of our B2B play, but man, what a great B2C play we have too, with pay your cell phone using ELMT, be a part of the gold. We even have our subscription for individual carbon credits to offset your own personal carbon footprint. And so but really the big picture for us is, let's clean up the mining world and incentivize the masses to be rewarded for being a part of the solution. But also, let's do some cool things. Let's let you use the token, right? A token really needs to have utility. And I had a couple quotes in here, but I think I misplaced. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. That's why. And so really, we're looking at utility because a token price is a byproduct of token utility. If there's enough utility and enough people want the ELMT token to pay your cell phone bill, to buy gold, to be a part of Guild, to buy carbon credits, then that's what really affects the token price. Now, one of the other really good things that we're working on, this is Jay. You guys know Jay Peters is our partner on our Tanzania mine. Element owns 2% of Tanzrock, and Tanzrock is getting multi-billion-dollar, verbal, I think offers is too strong of a word, but they have a couple of big companies looking at buying these companies out for $1 billion or $2 billion. But the beautiful thing about Jay is this is Jay. This is with, I can't remember if this is the Tanzanian or the Kenyan government, but he is good friends with both Mama Samia, who's the president of Tanzania, and with President Ruto, the president of Kenya. And he's going to be introducing, and already has, the element into these countries. And we're trying to get both of these countries to really buy off on certifying all their mining through Element United. If and when that happens, that is going to be so incredibly huge for Element and the Element community. And it'll probably have a big effect on the Element token price. That's hard to gauge. But now we have to pay a really, really pretty price to get the attention of both of these presidents. It's pay to play out there, but that's okay. We'll either give them nodes or tokens, but it's a win-win for them politically, because once they understand and they grasp what we're trying to do for their countries, for their people, they should be on. And we had our initial conversations with President Ruto's team 2 years ago. It didn't go anywhere because I think there was an election, and so. But now Jay is business partners with both Mama Samia and President Ruto, and he's our business partner. So we have a really good in, and we're making big inroads into making sure that the Element is a part of that, and that we can be because everybody's pitching different blockchain and crypto projects to them, but only ours is the one that really resonates. So we have a lot of revenue streams. The revenue streams we have from Offset, Alchemy, Core, and Straya. We also have nodes or revenue stream, but our mining ownership is going to prove to be a big revenue stream. And so if you're a node owner with Element, you're also a gold mine owner, because this is a community product and community project. And so we, right now, our contract with Tanzrock, we own 2% of Tanzrock, but Jay's smart, and he put a cap on how much we can make, and that cap is 17 million. And so when it sells, even if it sells for 2 billion, we're going to be capped. We're not going to make 40 million. We're capped at 17 million, and that's fair. And so, which is great. That can go into market support. That can go into helping build and doing a whole bunch of really fun stuff for the company. And so we start with our vision, our mission, and purpose. We start with trying to solve problems and help people. And if we put that first, everything else falls into place. And so we are, and again, this was not the full presentation. My full presentation, I can go for 2 hours, but I do want the most important things for me are to let you guys understand that. I'm going to stop sharing here. Do you know how I stop sharing? Can you stop sharing for me? There we go. And so for me, it's the most important thing for us is let's let everybody know what the problems are. Let's then tell them they can be rewarded to be a part of the solution. And then let's show them this is what you can do with the token. We're all about token utility. If you can't do anything with the ELMT token, then what's the point? Now, most people will say, well, I'm waiting for it to go up. Hey, me too. And we all believe that it will go up. We just don't know, we're just making sure you guys know it's not me. I don't have a secret button I can push to make the token go up. Okay. This is a product of the market. This is a product of the community. You are all community members. You all have a vote, and we're going to solve some problems together and hopefully create a token with the most utility out there. So the meeting with President Ruto is in August. Now that's with Jay. I'm trying hard to make sure I'm at that meeting and that we're pitching. Now, Jay said they require 250,000 for a meeting, but I think we can convince him to take nodes or tokens for that meeting, because once he sees it and sees what the potential is with the token, if we get his ringing endorsement, that's going to be great. And if we got the endorsement of the president of Tanzania and Kenya in the same week, it's going to be a really fun day for all of us. And so working on those things, that will really have the biggest impact, because if those presidents mandate that all the mining is now on the Element blockchain, what a wonderful day that's going to be for all of us. And so I want you guys all to be a part of the Element community in whatever way, shape, or form. And so I'll talk to Lisa about doing some sort of promo that we can work on. But for now, that's kind of the gist of Element. And if we can, I can do this again, and we can go over very specific products. But just to give you an update, so with Guild, all we're waiting on now is the merchant account approval. The merchant accounts don't like crypto, and so we found a company called PlatPay, and they are okay with crypto. And so we're in the underwriting process today. We just sent over a couple documents last night. There's maybe a couple more documents that they're going to want to see. And as soon as that's up and running, we call the guys at Aspire, we call the guys over at 7K, we activate all the Connect community and say it's go time, and we get that product out there. As far as Earth Mobile, we're in the midst of making sure we create a product that doesn't have the same issue that PowerPay. Even though PowerPay is awesome, they're going to make it right. Those guys over there, I'm confident they'll fix it. We just want to roll it out the correct way from the beginning, so that it has longevity and utility, and it's a win-win for everybody. So,
Scott, you rock, my friend. I'm so grateful for
hey, you guys, thank you guys for jumping on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, I know, right? And
I appreciate it. You guys are great.
So you answered actually the two questions right at the end there, because I was going to ask you about Guild and the mobile device situation. So that's exciting. And yes, there has been the challenges with green. However, as you said, they're going to make it right. There's conversations still going on. And this is the joys of pioneering, right? Like, this is what we get of in there slashing down the jungle, so to speak, without taking you back to the jungle so much, Scott. But, this is what it's about. So, guys, if you've got questions, please pop them in the chat, and I'll come to them. And I see that Anna's got one. I'll wait till a couple more pop up. And then, Scott, what I wanted to ask you was, so with the mobile phone situation, and I know that it's not even live yet, but is it a product that we also here in Australia and New Zealand will be able to utilize and tap
100%.
into?
Yeah. We looked into it, and the countries we will start with first are Australia, Canada, United States. And so, there'll be some workarounds on some of it. Some of them will do like a gift card, right? We'll like, they have digital gift cards. We looked into the major carriers in these countries. And so there'll be some, what works with one carrier and one country will be different from a different country and a different carrier. Yeah. And that's fine. We're okay with that. We're just trying to figure out how to do that in a scalable way. And I've talked to Ali Sabado, not Ali Austin, about how we do that. And we've figured out some workarounds on how to make that possible. But in most cases, it's easier than because the way that Jen was doing it with the PowerPay was clunky, and it was not done on time. But with the mobile carriers, it's not that the mobile carrier is going to accept ELMT. We will be an intermediary in the middle to either we just have to figure out how to do that. But digital gift cards works for about 4 of the major carriers we've already looked at. And so you give us the ELMT, we give you the card, send your ELMT back, and then you pay it online. And that way it just keeps it clean. But that one, because we're going for the masses, we're going to start, our beta will just be 3 countries with certain carriers, and that'll be our beta until we can figure out better ways to roll out. But we're confident we can do it. And so we've been doing a lot of research on how this would roll out. And yes, we can ship gold to Australia. I talked to Abe at Oz, and we can basically ship anywhere. So he's got all the licenses.
The name's perfect anyway, right? So Oz, we're right there. There's got to be a reason that he can ship it to here.
Yes,
so the other thing that I wanted to say, Scott, it's really exciting, that meeting that's coming up, because when you mentioned that, what I heard, because as I said, Element was one of the projects that really brought me into the ecosystem on the difference that we get to make in the world. how many lives, how many kids is that going to impact? How
Yeah,
many lives
absolutely.
and changes
Yeah.
is that going to make? I get goosebumps and I get
Yep.
emotional on that. Yes, yes, the financial side of it is amazing and all of that, but the regenerative of what Element does with the land, and then the lives that we get to change with the ethical mining that comes into place. My goodness, that must just make your heart sing,
It
given
does.
that you were on the ground and you saw what happened.
Yeah, and the best part about it is when Paul and I go back to film the impact that this community has. You know, I spent 2 years with a camera in my face, but the best video I'm ever going to film is going to be this redemption story when we go back and we have a little crew with us showing the lands that we worked, filling in the holes, replanting the cocoa, working with the families. And that's going to be really fun for us to be able to put out there, because a lot of people have put some, even with the bracelets, people bought bracelets. We can't wait to show you what that impact is going to have, and the impact that it's already having. I was communicating just this week with Victor, who's our liaison down in Africa. You'll see, if you ever saw Jungle Gold, you know who Victor is already. He was our kind of our local partner out there. And so we're excited to get him back on camera and showing all the great impact that's being done out there. So, but I also want to do something. Let's see. Presentation mentioned gold, silver could be stored in a vault. Yeah, we can vault your gold and silver at Oz. They have a vaulting license. So if you need, if you just want to have him hang on to the gold until it's enough of a quantity to then ship out, maybe once a year, you can do that as well. But you can cash out at any time. But think about, Lisa, what can we? Sorry,
I think more along the lines of those questions are a couple of tax implications that are possibly coming into play in Australia. Yeah. In and around that as well, Scott, without mentioning that, because certainly that's not why we would do it. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah. But yes, sorry, I missed what you were asking.
I was going to say, let me know what Element can do for you guys, right? You guys know we had a promo. We had a community member selling a whole bunch of native really cheap so they can buy nodes. Let's maybe you and I talk offline, Lisa, on what you want to do about that. But happy to do a promo for you and all your teams to make sure that everybody can get involved with Element at a really, really affordable price. So let me know whatever I can do. I'm
right.
Here to
well,
do
Stacey's already jumped in and said she's super excited about the mobile,
excellent,
the mobile stuff, and she would love to buy more cheap notes. So
I'm here to help. I love you guys. I love your support. I recognize none of this happens without your support. So Lisa, you and I will talk about what we can do.
We'll work it out,
and we'll make it happen.
Great. The other question that I have, Scott, before I let you go, because I know that it is Friday evening for you, is like, what are the chances, if in the near future, for conversations with Australian mines?
Anytime. We've talked. A couple of people have referred Australian mines, and we've had multiple conversations. But any mine. So the guy that I'm working with is a guy named Dustin, and he owns a software company that builds software for mining companies. And so the introduction into most of the mines that we're going to be working with all came through him. And he's mostly Africa, South and Central America. And so those are where we've been focusing, just because it was an easy landing spot. But any relationships that anybody has with Australian companies, bring them over. And so
okay.
I don't think we've talked to P&G, Anna. I'm not sure, but maybe we have. I can't remember. We have a spreadsheet of who we've talked to. We've talked to hundreds, and because a lot of these companies have also asked us about mine tokenization, which we didn't talk about today. But a lot of companies want us to tokenize their mine and create a new token on the Element blockchain. We've had about 30 or 40 conversations with different mining groups about doing that. We haven't launched it yet, just because there are securities implications here in the United States that we're trying to make sure we work through. We're waiting on the Clarity Act to get fully pushed through Congress, and so that the rules for how we do that, because the last thing we want to do is get hit with some sort of SEC violation for trying to create new tokens. And so we're just waiting on clarity before we move forward on that. But we might have talked to P&G. The name is very recognizable. So anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Anna's been in conversations with someone that she knows there on the ground as well, and I think there's been a connection, so
Excellent.
that's exciting.
Now, if you
So guys,
feel free to pass on all my contact information, my direct cell phone number. I give it out to anybody just to make sure that we're accessible. And so, if you've got my WhatsApp, Lisa, pass it
yep,
on. Happy to
yep,
talk directly with any of you guys.
yeah, that's great, Scott. So guys, what I get from that is, who do you know, or who do you know that knows somebody in the mining, and the difference that we can start to make on the ground here for Australia as well, in that we can get things happening ethically, but also, it's a source of truth. The blockchain is a source of truth, and so that's exciting as well. Well, Scott, I can't see any more. As if you've got any questions, quickly drop them in, because otherwise we're going to wrap it up and let Scott go and enjoy his Sunday. He's not Sunday, not that far ahead yet. Friday evening. And guys, yeah, we will. I'll chat with Scott. I'll get the details on what we're going to do for the promo, but it certainly will be an opportunity where you can probably grab a node at a great reduced price as well. And the thing that I look at that is not necessarily the saving of the actual purchase of the node. It actually allows you to be an owner in a project that really is making a difference in the world. And that excites me. And, because that's what it's all about. And that's why, yes, as Anna just dropped it, we were on the same thought process right then, sweetheart, is that Scott's heart is definitely, he's been boots on the ground and has seen what's going on, and he really is the forefront of making a difference in this space. And he has the biggest heart. He has the most beautiful family as well, and his family is important to him, which is why I'm going to wrap it up and let him go and enjoy his Friday evening with his family. He has a is it your son that's coming back?
My son, yeah.
Yeah, just coming back from the Philippines, who's been on missionary work there for 2 years very shortly. So he's kind of excited about.
Yeah, he comes home on Wednesday. Yeah, haven't seen him in 2 years. And so, yeah. And then my daughter will be doing her missionary service in Sydney. So she'll be there for
in Australia.
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, it looks like that's it. A big thank you. There's lots of love coming your way in the chat there, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for jumping on again, and we will certainly be continuing those as well, because as the new projects and products come out for Element, certainly if we can be at the forefront of those conversations would be amazing. Appreciate everything that you do, Scott. Go and enjoy your Friday night.
Thank you.
And
okay.
we'll chat.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Lisa. Okay.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.